Alright, here we go. We're gonna go another solo campaign mission. This is the last one I have to do, which is Contact. So again, solo play, Jurgen, Satchel Charge, best you can use. Special for Mask Scent. Again, another really best ability in the game, 7 seconds of invincibility, basically. Carbine rifle, resourcefulness, and explosive rounds are the two you really want, and lead poisoning. Then you also pair that with the SMG, and the SMG, the key part is weakness exploitation, because that pairs well with the poison as well as shock, and then the holster helper to just be able to switch it in and out without losing. This mission is Contact. Contact, I think, is the best mission, probably the most fun. Because you just go to the you've got a Rex at the end. It's relatively straightforward. You run to the different generator locations. 2 out of 3 you need to repair, and then you just fight the Rex at the end, and happy days. Again, going for 5-star means I will be playing a little bit longer than what you typically need to. If you just want to get in and get out of the mission, that's also fine. But for 5-starring, you want to get 2,100 research points, which is relatively easy to do. It's easier to do on the higher difficulties because all of the research is multiplied by 7 as opposed to by 5. So on a normal difficulty, it's all of the research is by a factor of 5, or a 5 multiple. So for something that is 20 on normal, it's worth 28 on insane, and that only makes a difference if you like numbers. I like numbers. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to run up to this radar relay. I know I have to go to this one just here at A, but I'm going to hit the radar relay and a few other things around first. The radar's 28 points. There's a camp plus a supply container for 21 and 28 points themselves. Plus there should be also the drone just in there. That's another 28 points. So that's already getting a good chunk of the way into what I'm needing to do. So seeing as I need 2100, obviously. In order to avoid damage when you're doing that, you can just go invisible. That's a perfectly viable strategy. Easy research is also found by just grabbing the eggs when you get a chance. If my mouse would work, this would be much easier. We don't need to look at the explosions. They're gonna die. Told ya. Styracosaurus has fallen. And then it's just down in here. I've ran the wrong way. That might kill. No, we're all good. I do like the fact you don't have fall damage. It does make traversing the map a lot easier. Might make it too easy at times. So what's going to happen now is these will pop up. You'll get a few hollows that you want to remove straight away, and then in a moment she's going to say there's a breaker to click. Oh, I ran the wrong way. And then you just have to do this 2 or 3 times. Make sure you try and find any hollows that spawn up, because the hollows obviously spawn dinos, and the more dinos there are, the harder it is to stay alive. If you do travel too far away though, it will also stop the breaker, so you do have to stay close by. and then you go to the next one, and then I think it's 30 seconds or so that you need to wait. Just going to look if there is, yep, that's there as well. So I might as well do this while I'm waiting. Again, in order to avoid damage, you can just go invisible, and then you just take some time. Oh, we've got the, he shouldn't have come down, but that's alright. So essentially what we're doing to the Rex is we're just abusing the fact that he'll get staggered a lot, and so that way we can just continue to go invisible, throw down our grenades, pump out the damage that we need to, and go invisible again. And then we do rinse and repeat. This will make this finish, so I don't need to worry about that. And then this should be just about him dead after. He stuck his head down. When they stick their head down, then he's really low. He also starts to regen health. And so then I can spend some time just quickly restocking myself. There will always be 3 equipments and 3 ammo kits in this location. So now I either pick B or C. I'm going to go to C because I know that it's a little bit closer and there's a good chance of gaining more research points quickly there. I went to look at this spot here because I knew that the where that ship is for the black box. Knowing that that was there meant that I know there's 3 different locations the black box could have spawned, and I just had a quick look and it was exactly where I wanted it to be. There's 3 different spots for each black box that they could spawn at, so knowing that it does make it a little bit easier. Reactivating the radar relay does make this take a little bit longer than it needs to, but it's about a minute that you just have to wait. Dinos I think are supposed to spawn, but they typically don't. So with the dropship being over here, it meant that it could be here, there, or just up here for the black box locations. I didn't do that very quickly because I thought I could hear dinos. I didn't do that slowly. Right, that should go as I'm running away. Good. Yeah, so there's only 3 spots. There is a map that's being created by Restrained Raptor that is on the Discord server. If you're not part of the Second Extinction Discord, go join up. There are some community guides that have things such as a whole map that show exactly where each of the different objectives could be, including what ones should spawn based off of information that you learn. I'll do this egg thing because it should be quick and easy. Then with the nesting ground, there's always a optimal spot to put the eggs down. The most optimal is up the top here because you can go 1, 2, and then just grab the bottom 2 here, and then you've got the 4 just right next to it, and so you can be in and out very quickly. And the name of the game is speed, basically, because if you get stuck trying to fight dinos, you will have a rough time, or a rougher time. Like, you're not going to absolutely hate the game, but you need to be always moving. So for something like this, there's always going to be a Styracosaurus there, and there's always going to be an Alpha there. So you want to probably remove both of them before you go to the next part. I'm actually not, because I'm just going to get this started. But the Alpha I removed. hollows, which it will typically show you where they're spawning out from. So it wants us to flip the breakers, so we can do that straight away. I do find that when you go invisible, the dinos do seem to bug out and just end up running to a set location, like the last spot you were, which can be helpful. I suppose they've got to do something when you go invisible. So if that's just going to the last spot they saw you, I suppose that's what they do. Again, dealing with these blue mutated guys or can be quite confronting when you first start playing. They used to be a lot harder, I think. They actually toned them down a little bit, and so if you're having a hard time now, it would have been even harder a few months ago. Again, just going to go invisible and heal up, because this should be ready in a moment. And then that means I'm ready to go. So we're only 1,000 points out from being 5-star already, which is great. So now it's just running back to the comm center. There's always a way to traverse the mountains if you know where to look. Typically you look for flat rocks. Or if you look for where there's flat rocks, sometimes they're nice and they give you a little white line that makes it very obvious what you can and can't jump on. And by white line it's probably snow, but it does make it more obvious for places where you can traverse. The maps are full of them, like there's heaps and heaps of different little ways you could walk. I'm just going to grab this radar as well, not radar, the drone while it's coming this way, because that's again an easy couple of points that I won't have to worry about later. And I'm even going to go to the extraction site, and I'm not going to repair it yet, but I'm just going to make sure I resupply, because you've got unlimited ammo as long as you run around and hit the extraction sites regularly. You should never run out of ammo. The game's full of ammo everywhere. It's actually probably one of its biggest things making it probably too easy at times, is the fact that there's no big reason to run the ammo supply drops and things like that. You can survive without them. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to start this up. There will be a Rex that comes out of that location there. But the first thing you're going to want to do is close these gates. When you're playing solo, you have to do all of it yourself, obviously, which can be annoying because they just start piling in dinos. So you want to close them as quickly as you can and then try and manage the dinos that are spawning in, or swarming in really, would be more descriptive, or a more apt description of what they're doing. So I'm going to close this one, I'm going to heal myself, and then I'll get ready to start fighting. Not in a great spot there because I put myself into a corner. Again, this is where the where having shock grenades becomes really helpful. And then you probably want to just remove a few of them. You don't want to do all of them because that'll take you too long. It's not worth killing all of them, it's just worth doing enough to make it easier on yourself. So now, because I've got no equipment, I'm going to want to definitely make sure I go look for some, where there should be some just in here. I'm going to grab both lots, just so I don't have to worry about it. What happens now is a T-Rex will spawn through here, and that's when all hell breaks loose. So now, when fighting the Rex, you want to try and bug him out as much as you can by keeping him stun locked. Much easier to do if you have both the satchel and grenades. On Insane, you will get this this extra part that you need to worry about, which is this fuse fixing this up, which then forces you to stay close by or it stops working. I don't remember exactly distance I need to stay. It'll probably stop in a moment and tell me that I've gone too far. That Styratosaurus shouldn't be shooting out bullets like that. We're just going to have to keep moving ourselves around. This again is why Jurgen's the best, because you can just go invisible and reposition yourself. It's the repositioning that really helps Jurgen to shine. If you took away some of the time that he gets to be invisible, that would probably affect him the most. But as it currently stands, because you can be invisible for such a long period... Oh, there's the Rex as well. Alright, and now we can extract. Perfect. And so what we are going to do is we're just going to repair this extraction point here, because we're at 1700 points, which does mean that we should be relatively close to... Well, we are close. We're 400 points short of 5-star. So by the time we heal and repair all of this, we should be at the 5-star mark, which is what your goal is. The goal is getting 5 stars, or the goal is getting 2100 research. If you're playing on normal, I would still get 2100 research, as that is what gives you the loot crate, the platinum loot crate. I'm not sure if that's a design choice or if that's just a mistake, that you can still get the best loot crate without having the most stars, the highest star rating. But while that is in the game, I would strongly recommend that people use that, as it does make for playing the game a lot easier. Not easier, but you'll get your skins, and who doesn't love having skins? Like, skins in games like these are what make you be like, yeah, I've played a lot. I know what I'm doing. Or it just shows that you got lucky. That was not helpful. That necrosis one is actually affecting me a lot. Whew. That was very how you going? Alright. That necrosis one again. Whew. That's a little bit spicy there, but that's alright. Provided you use the different provided you use the environment to your advantage, you should be right the majority of the time, or use where you're fighting to your advantage. So in this case, always moving myself around. I'm hoping they're both going to die in a sec, because I'm out of grenades. Okay, there we go. Being out of grenades, I'll just go grab some more. Another good part about playing solo is everything's your own. Okay, he decided he didn't want to be there anymore. I don't know if you saw him go flying, but yeah, so we're at the 2100 points, much like I expected. Again, you're using your SMG when they're poisoned to maximize your damage. So I do think that even if they do nerf the carbine, the SMG with carbine and poison will still be relatively strong. I don't see it getting weaker. I just see explosive rounds not dealing as much damage and being as oppressive as it is, because currently it's very oppressive. So Contact's probably one of the quickest missions you can get 5-star in at the moment, given the fact that it's all in red zones. That's what does make a huge difference in helping you to get 5-star. And you're forced into doing a lot of side objectives through doing Contact. But that is more or less the end. We'll see what the stats say up at the end screen once that black goes away. Did we manage any skins? No, we did not. And then, yeah, so less than 20 minutes to do that, and that's with the couple of Rexes that we ended up fighting. Did we fight 2? Ah, yes, we did fight 2. Yeah. So, until next time, happy dino hunting. I'll be making some more of these, hopefully with the other heroes as well.